Okay, so are you ready to like dive into something kind of different? We're talking side hustles, but with a twist.
Okay.
You've got your goals are set on passive income online, and you find this guide. Well, guide might be a little generous.
Yeah.
It's this raw text file. Like it's called literally Ingresos Extras Pasivos $35 per dia.txt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you heard me right, a .txt file. Like it's straight out of the 90s.
Which, for those who don't speak Spanish, translates to passive extra income $35 per day.
It really cuts to the chase, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like, you stumbled on some secret, like those winning lottery numbers scribbled on a napkin.
Right.
But here's the thing, even though it's bare bones formatting wise, this guide actually gives you a like surprisingly structured 6-step process for making and selling digital products.
It's interesting because this is like a very common experience for people who want to start their own business.
Yeah.
They have the drive and they have the ideas,
Totally.
but they don't know where to start.
Right.
And this .txt file, rush as it is, tries to give you that roadmap.
Exactly. So let's break down these 6 steps, see what we're working with, and more importantly, how this whole approach could apply to your side hustle goals.
Sounds good.
Okay, step 1. This one starts out familiar, Pinterest.
Yeah.
But we're not pinning recipes or, home decor here. The guide specifically says to look for those visually appealing Instagram puzzle feeds.
Okay.
And, those matching Instagram story highlight covers.
Right. So for those who aren't familiar, a puzzle feed is where your Instagram grid, so all those individual squares comes together to make one big design. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, but for your brand.
And the guide is all about those puzzle feeds that just scream professionalism.
Yeah.
It's about creating that polished look that businesses want.
Right, because the guide's tapping into the fact that having a strong visual identity is so important for businesses on Instagram.
It makes sense.
Especially if they want to be taken seriously.
Totally. So you found your Pinterest inspiration, now what, mate? Step 2 is where things get interesting. It's what the guide calls Canva cloning.
Okay.
Now, before you start thinking about legal issues, they're talking about making similar designs, not straight up copies.
Sure.
What's clever here is how they're using Canva. You don't need expensive software or years of design experience to make something that looks professional.
Right.
And that's a huge selling point for your customers.
And it's very on trend. More and more people are going with user-friendly tools like Canva.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're affordable and pretty easy to learn.
Definitely.
The guide is really tapping into that demand for accessible design.
Okay, so to keep going with this, .txt file, step 3 is more Canva.
Okay.
It's taking that Pinterest to Canva process, but this time it's all about those eye-catching Instagram story highlight covers.
Again, consistency is key here.
Right.
You want your highlight covers to match the aesthetic of that puzzle feed you made.
So it's building a whole brand experience.
Yeah.
And this is where the passive income part starts to come in, right?
Yeah.
You're not just making one-off designs, you're building a whole package.
Exactly. And the guide takes it a step further in step 4 by telling you to package up your finished Canva templates into a PDF.
They even say to include instructions on how to edit them. And I love this part, I'll link to a video tutorial. Step 5 is all about showing, not just telling you no.
Exactly.
The guide says to make like a simple Canva video that walks people through actually using the templates.
It's adding that like personal touch.
Yeah.
Even though it's, a digital product.
Right.
You're anticipating questions and making it super easy for people to, get the most out of the purchase.
Okay, so you've done everything. The guide says you've got these awesome templates, a nice instruction manual, even a video tutorial. It's like a whole mini course.
Right.
But here's the question you need to ask. Is this enough to really make that passive income?
Right.
And is it really passive, or is there more to it?
Those are the big questions. The guide kind of glosses over the whole selling part.
Yeah.
It mentions places like Creative Market Etsy, even doing custom design on Fiverr. That's step 6.
Yeah.
But it doesn't talk about marketing or competition or the time it takes to actually make those sales.
It is interesting that they mentioned pricing tiers, though.
Yeah.
It seems like they've done some market research to see what people will actually pay for these templates.
That's a really key point.
Yeah.
It shows they're not just throwing ideas around.
Yeah.
They've thought about the business side of things at least a little.
Okay, so we've got these 6 steps. Find inspiration, make it in Canva, package it up, create your video tutorial, then pick your platform.
Yeah.
I have to admit, when I first opened this .txt file, I was kind of skeptical,
Uh-huh.
but there's something kind of scrappy about it that I kind of like.
I see what you mean. It's easy to dismiss something that looks this rough. But there are some really smart ideas here.
Like, what stands out to you?
Well, for one, they're tapping into this trend of templatized design, which is huge right now.
Oh, yeah.
Entrepreneurs are busier than ever.
So true.
They need things to be quick and easy.
For sure.
They don't have the time to design everything themselves.
So it's about giving them that head start.
Exactly. And they're not just targeting any entrepreneur.
Yeah.
They're going for the ones who get how important a professional Instagram is.
Right.
They're solving a really specific problem for a really specific audience.
It's like they found this niche within a niche.
Exactly.
They're not selling design templates. They're selling that shortcut.
Yeah, like a shortcut to a professional Instagram.
Exactly.
And that focus is so key when like everything's so crowded online.
Totally. It makes you think, though, could this work for other stuff, too?
Oh, absolutely.
We've been talking Instagram templates, but what about like Canva workbooks?
Yeah.
Or checklists or even social media calendars?
Totally. That's what's so cool about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a framework you can use for different things.
Right.
Let's say you're great at making those eye-catching Pinterest pins.
Okay.
You could do the same process. Find inspiration. Make your own versions in Canva. Package them up with instructions.
Yeah.
And sell them to bloggers who want to step up their Pinterest game.
So the takeaway isn't to copy this .txt file exactly.
Right.
It's more like understanding how they're thinking.
It's about seeing the opportunity when other people just see a mess.
Yes.
It's finding a need, creating something to sell it, and packaging it so it's valuable but easy.
And that brings us to you, listener. What about your side hustle? What really stood out to you from this whole thing?
Yeah, did anything surprise you or maybe even spark an idea?
I'd love to know.
That's what's great about these deep dives. They get you thinking differently.
Totally.
They make you look for those unusual paths.
Yeah.
Those unexpected ways to make your skills and passions into a side income.
I love that.
Who knows, maybe someday we'll be talking about your unique approach to online business.
Okay, now you're talking. So there you have it, from a kind of rough .txt file to a gold mine of ideas.
You never know where you'll find inspiration.
Seriously. Remember, valuable lessons can be anywhere. So stay curious, stay creative, and we'll see you next time for more Side Hustle Secrets.